Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Animac here from Anime Uproar. Welcome to another episode of the Naruto Virgin podcast. Continuing on with the Chunin exams. And bro, it was crazy. We had a bunch of fights all happening one after the other. We had some Hyuga family drama. We had the beginning of Gaara versus Rock Lee, which is already freaking epic. Yeah, man, so much stuff is happening. I'm very excited to talk about this. And joining me, of course, we got Nux and Briggs and Gozen.
Nuts and Briggs!
And Gozen.
Nuts and Briggs!
And Gozen.
Let's go!
Hype. Fantastic intro there, Mac.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention we had a Sakura versus Ino as well.
Bro, Ino cut her hair, dude.
For me, bro. Let's just say Sakura bloomed.
No.
I
wouldn't.
I don't know how to.
I don't know about that. But...
Anyway, I'll talk about it because that was the one fight where I had an issue with out of all the other stuff that we had. Like, it was the one thing where I was like, I don't like this.
I get what you're saying, and I was, it wasn't as cool as I remembered.
It wasn't cool.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we get to it. But I do want to say, just quickly, to everyone watching and listening to the Naruto Virgin podcast, be sure to check out our Rank Cafe Anime podcast, which is a Spotify exclusive. Just follow us up on Spotify, search up Rank Cafe, or click the link in the description. I'm going to put the link in the description. It means a lot to us. It supports us, and it's free, of course. And the reason I ask you to do this is Spotify partnered with us on the Rank Cafe Anime podcast. They're supporting that podcast, and the resources they gave us allows us to do all these Virgin podcasts as well. Even though these Virgin podcasts are not Spotify exclusives, we wouldn't be able to dedicate the time that we do to all these podcasts if not for that Spotify deal. So it would mean a lot to us if you guys could check us out on Spotify, Rank Cafe, give us that follow. We're almost at 80,000 followers, so we're trying to get that to 100K. All right, now let's get into the fun.
Yo, Animac is really good at this. Have you noticed?
He's had practice.
Like, dude, I respect the hell out of you.
Thanks, bro. I respect you.
I think that's the first... I'm in shock right now.
Yo, that was not the first time I complimented Animac. I compliment him all the time.
No, but it was like you complimented him, he complimented you. It was wholesome. It didn't even seem sarcastic. Oh my god!
Don't jinx it, man. Don't mention it.
I can't. I couldn't not bring this up. Like, I'm in shock.
He also compliments the Isekai novel as well, so I have to say that.
I mean, Isekai novel is funny. It's no Konosuba, but it's funny.
Oh, broke my heart.
How dare you? Konosuba doesn't even have a Nux, bro. How could you even compare them?
I know. I have to say, Nuxanor is a good character. He's almost as good as Kazuma.
All right, well...
And I'm incredibly vain. And despite my vanity, I'm still saying that. So you know that I'm not lying.
Yeah, that is interesting. It's an interesting concept because even your character in the novel is super vain. But all right, so the first fight we were looking at was the Beetle Clan guy, right?
Beetle guy!
I think we did that last week.
Yeah, we just finished that one up, yeah.
I think there was still stuff.
There was the explanation of how he did it.
Yeah. Yes, so basically their clan has actual physical beetles on their bodies at all times. The beetles are allowed to feed on their chakra, and then when they need in a fight or something, the beetles obey their commands. So I thought that was a lot of dedication to be fighting.
How gross is that, man? How gross is
gross?
Like, imagine being his girlfriend, man.
Dude,
like,
you're just saying it's gross. This is so sad. I remember when I was a kid,
it's cool.
I thought Shino was so cool. I would like put an ant in my sleeve and think I'm him.
That's so funny.
Okay, that's hilarious.
Just one ant. It's like,
one ant. Any more than that, I would lose control. I don't know where they are.
No, okay, I agree. He's cool as fuck in the shonen world. I'm just thinking in reality, like how gross.
Yo, and then you leave something like in your room and it makes a massive mess, and your mom's like, "What's going on?" And you're like, "I've awakened my chakra."
I'm Shino, bitch.
Goes that I think your mic is too loud because you're even louder than Nux.
I will move it back a bit. I just get excited.
No excitement. No excitement allowed. We also had that. Right. The Puppet Master guy, he's the guy from the Sand Village, right?
Before you mention it, before you just say we had the Puppet Master guy, talk about your emotions going into that fight. How he initially gets grabbed and it looks like he's about to get slapped.
The Puppet Master guy?
You didn't know he was a puppet master guy.
Oh yeah. So what I wanted to say was,
yes.
I was shocked by that revelation.
There we go.
I thought it was really cool because we see him, and then he gets grabbed, and it looks like he's done. But it turns out that was just like a puppet, and he's actually behind the dude. And I was like, I did not see that coming.
Isn't that a cool power? And that also explains how he he did that before, like during the written exam.
Yeah.
He made a fake sentry.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it was ever said that it was a puppet, but he used something and made it pretend to be a proctor so that he could go outside and cheat.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I did not know at that time that was a puppet that he was using.
Of course not. It just, you didn't know anything.
Yeah, exactly. So it all makes sense now, and I thought it was a really cool power, and it was so cool that he kept it hidden because he could then use it in a crucial moment as an advantage.
Hell yes. Crucial gang.
Yeah. And like he's the other guy from the Sand Village, right? It's Gaara, the one girl, and him.
Gaara's brother.
Brother, but not real brother.
Well, I don't know, man. Let's find out.
Why not real brother?
Because I feel
why not real brother?
I feel like Gaara doesn't have brothers, bro. He probably would have eaten.
He would have eaten them already. I mean,
some kind of monster. Anyway, now let's talk about, because Nux, you love chronological. Let's talk about the best fight: Sakura versus Ino.
Right.
And I mean, this was
also, before you talk about Sakura versus Ino, the creativity in the Kankuro fight. Kankuro's puppet guy. Kankuro against that dude with the stretchy arms.
Yeah.
Like, the creativity from the writer's perspective to introduce this jutsu, where he has chakra puppet strings coming out of his hands that he can control the ultimate ninja tool. Isn't that a cool idea?
Yes, man, there was a lot of that throughout this whole Chunin exam. Like, the creativity of the different ninjutsus and the powers, I honestly am blown away because, as someone who is a writer myself, I really am impressed by how all these different intricate things are put into the story and how well they work against each other to create like these entertaining fights.
Hell yeah.
Makes strategy important.
Strategy.
Which I love. Strategy is so cool. And when you have to actually think about a fight, like, with JoJo's and stands and things like that, I really enjoy that.
Yes.
It's like, how does this power compare to this power? How does it compare to another power? It's not just like, okay, my power is to defeat everyone because I'm stronger. It's like, no, my power might work well against this other power, but my weakness isn't, the other guy's power, so I have to be careful against him, use some other strategy. I really like that.
And some are built for teamwork, right? Some can use terrain. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, so speaking of that, Ino, her special jutsu thing is built for teamwork, like, right? She takes possession of someone's consciousness, but that person has to be kind of still when she does it. So it works when someone's holding that person down, but when it's a one-on-one, like it was with Sakura, it was more difficult. So what Ino ended up doing, there was this whole dramatic moment where, Sakura had earlier cut off her hair because she's like, I don't care about, physical stuff, the superficial stuff. I'm committed to being a ninja. And then Ino was like, oh, yeah, well, I'll do it, too. And then she cuts off her hair. But in reality, she was using her hair to kind of like combine it with chakra to restrain Sakura so that she could use her technique, right?
Yo, thank God it was actually like a ploy and a strategy. Otherwise, that would have been so cringy. And it was.
Yeah.
It was cringy even while it was a ploy and a strategy.
Yes, but it kind of redeemed it. Otherwise, that would have been a big facepalm moment.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anything's okay as a strategy, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Overall,
you can be as cringy as fuck. Yeah.
The whole fight was just okay. I did not like the ending, but before I talk about that, I do want to say that I did like how it was established that the female ninja, they have to kind of learn additional skills that the male ninjas don't because of the unique situation that women are in that society, which the fact that it's modeled on like traditional Japanese society makes perfect sense because they're totally different forms of etiquette and cultural expectations and stuff. In terms of men versus women. So that I like that being added in there because it makes sense historically.
Yeah, you gotta know how to arrange your flowers.
A lot of these fights, at least this one and like Temari versus Tenten, a lot of the times the background characters and the conversations they're having and their reactions are more entertaining than the fight themselves.
I mean, Temari and Tenten was like we didn't even see
it was like off screen. Tenten was so irrelevant, she got slapped off screen.
Yeah,
it's so cool because looking at the Sand Ninja until this point, we only knew Gaara was this crazy threat. We didn't realize that both of the other two people on his team were maybe not equivalent to Gaara, but they're on par with the strongest of the Leaf guys.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like when you just see someone lose and you don't even get to see the fight, you know that person's badass.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like, I'm not even going to waste time
on
doing this fight. Yeah, because this is going to, this person's going to be relevant later. So you're going to learn about them later.
Well, Tenten never, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, Tenten's going to come back stronger than ever, bro.
Yeah,
no, I'm talking about the person that beat.
Yes, I know. I like that. What did you gather from that fight?
Well, hold on. We're still talking about the Sakura fight.
Oh, I skipped that on purpose. That was not an accident at all.
Yeah, so the thing about that is, I mean, the whole backstory was kind of meh, because I understand that it was about Sakura gaining confidence and how, helped her gain confidence and all that type of stuff. But, like, the whole flower thing, like, I get they're girls, but they're still trying to be ninja. So the whole flower thing was just not as, like, impactful as, you killed my father.
Her name is Sakura, though.
Or something like
important.
That.
It's important, bro.
Dude, I rewatched. You don't understand. I rewatched Naruto a bunch of times. Every single time I skipped that fight.
I mean, it is the weakest fight. I will say.
In the series.
Just think about all the backstories we've seen so far. Most of them are like tragic and stuff like that. And then it's like, oh, but that's flower moment, though.
We used to be friends.
You can blossom into a beautiful flower.
When rereading it, I skipped through their backstory. I did not care even a little bit.
Bro,
dude, it's
cringy?
Embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
The cringy stuff to me is always like the fact that they keep going back to Sasuke. It's like, you have no chance. Like what are you doing? Like, she keeps talking about not giving up about Sasuke. It's like he never even talked to you. Like,
yeah,
dude.
And the other thing is Sasuke's right there, and he doesn't give two fucks about.
Well, he's not right there right now, but
yeah, not now, but in the past, like he would be just like there. It's like I like Sasuke. Sasuke's like, what?
And then Naruto kisses him like a Chad.
Let's go.
Anyway, I did think that the ending was lame of that fight when it was a tie. Because I was like,
I didn't think the tie was lame.
I thought it was because it's like, okay, if the plot doesn't have any use for Ino later in the thing, okay, then at least make Sakura win. Like,
why?
Let her have one W, bro.
I like the fact that we didn't have our guys win everything. I kind of like that.
So did neither of them advance in the tournament?
No, and that's
amazing.
Too. It's like you both fail.
I feel like Kishimoto's like, I don't care about these characters. I don't want to put them in another fight. Let's have them tie and both lose.
That was so lame to me because it's like, at least, pick a side, and if you want to develop Sakura, then give her the W for once. She can lose in the third one or whatever, but just give her the W for once.
Man,
no, then we have to watch her fight again, bro.
Then you got to watch her fight again. At least they showed Sakura fight. They didn't even show Tenten fight.
That was my only personal.
Oh, they showed Tenten get slapped.
I think in the anime, in the Naruto, in the manga, it just shows her losing. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, exactly. It shows her like on the ground with her weapons everywhere, and that's it.
Really? In the anime, it was like she threw weapons. She threw weapons at her, and nothing happened. And she was like, "What?" And then she did it again, and nothing happened again. And she's like, well, "I don't understand."
So you still don't know her powers. Okay,
dude, I'm pretty sure, canonically, Tenten has less screen time than the swing in like the beginning of Naruto. Like, I think it's actually a thing.
Wow.
They showed the swing more times than her.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, with all the flashbacks.
I don't know if it's fake news, but I've seen that on Twitter before.
To me, the whole tie thing was the only issue that I had with this whole section of the arc. Because, I just thought it was kind of like they both lost instead of actually going all the way and having Sakura develop. Or at least if Ino passes, then okay, maybe Ino has some purpose in the future. But this was just kind of like, meh, they're friends and they tied.
You know what I thought you might have an issue with? Because, like, that she kind of knocked her out of her consciousness. Because they kind of developed the hype that, like, that can't happen. But then they ended up saying it's because she was like too exhausted to keep it up. But the fact that Sakura kind of just kicked her out of her mind was kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's because Sakura's so Machiavellian, bro. She has like multiple personalities.
That was interesting too. It's like you have multiple personalities going on in you.
But she doesn't really. That's the joke of it.
Yeah, she has the fake one and the real one. That's pretty much it. Like the Sasuke in front of Sasuke one and the other.
That's not another personality. That's just
no. It's not. It's not like Reiner.
She doesn't actually have split personality disorder.
No. It's like she has a public persona, kind of like Noxtaku.
Right.
Versus,
me and Sakura. We're cut from the same cloth.
Can we please move on from Sakura?
Yeah, this is honestly boring me to death. I wanted to talk about Kankuro longer than this.
Okay, but I want to say thank you to LARP the Fist for 3,000 magical bitches.
Thank you.
The Fist.
Okay, so after that fight, we had... the highlight of that fight for me was Rock Lee just admiring the way Sakura moves.
Wait, before Rock Lee, why do you keep bringing up Rock Lee? He's the second last fight in the entire preliminary thingo. You didn't talk about Hinata versus Neji yet.
We got to talk about Shikamaru first.
Shikamaru.
We got a bunch of stuff.
Dear God, Nux, do you not even listen? You just heard Rock Lee and just tuned out.
Yeah, because you mentioned him a bunch of times already.
I said it was funny when Rock Lee commented how he enjoyed Sakura's movements. He was admiring her movements during the Sakura fight.
Well, in that case, yes. I think that was very apt of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then...
but also, I like how Naruto's in the stands. He stands next to Kankuro, doesn't he? Garu's bro?
Yes. Like, he talks to him at one point. Yeah.
They're, like, talking to each other?
Yeah, because Kankuro wants to find out more about Neji, so he wants to, like, grill Naruto.
Funnily enough, like, even though we're following Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, and throughout the story so far, everyone keeps saying that, Sasuke's such a genius, whatever. Then he gets slapped by Lee, and then Lee keeps talking about Neji as the genius. So our perspective kind of switches that, like, Neji is the genius of the Leaf Village. Right?
I agree with that statement, yeah. He's badass.
Yeah, and so the next fight that we saw, it was a brief one, but I thought it was really cool. It was Shikamaru beating that girl, and he did it in, like, a cool way because it kind of showcased the importance of being aware of your surroundings and using the battlefield to your advantage. Basically, his jutsu is that he can make the opponent copy his movements, right?
If he catches them in his shadow.
Yes. So then there was a whole fight of him finding a way to catch her in his shadow.
Which was really cool.
Yes, it was. And then...
How did he do it?
It was the strings that were being used, right?
Because she was using these needles attached to, like, these poison needles? Were they poisoned? I vaguely remember.
I don't think so, because they did hit him.
Yeah, so she had the needles, and in order to manipulate them, she had attached them to a string, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So the super faint, nearly invisible shadow that the string made is what he used to connect to her shadow to control her.
And
that is so cool.
Yeah, and he connected to her in a way that she was right by the wall, and then when he like moved his head back, she hit the wall and just like passed out from a concussion, and I thought that was pretty hilarious.
I want to know if you saw it coming, or were you like...
No, I didn't see it coming, no.
Yeah, so that's the cool part. It's like a mystery story almost with Naruto. Like, he often gives you clues in, like, panels, but then only later on you see why they're relevant. And one of the ones was she was standing close to the wall, which is cool.
Yeah, what is the name of that girl, by the way?
Irrelevant.
Yeah. That's my answer, too.
Completely irrelevant character.
Good to know.
So, what's next?
So, anyway, as you were saying, very cool stuff.
Okay, yeah, so that fight was cool. Then we had the Naruto fight.
So, the Shikamaru fight, the thing about his jutsu, it's not as straightforward as one may think. Right? Because... He captures people in his little circle of Thingo, but what's even cooler than that is any damage that person would take, he takes as well. Right?
No,
well, it depends on the circumstances, but yes.
No, I don't think it doesn't.
It does.
The way it works
there was no wall behind Shikamaru, so Shikamaru didn't take the damage.
You know, let me speak.
Okay.
The way he the way he actually won that fight was because he threw a ninja star at the same time as, and so he took a ninja star out of his pocket at the same time as she did, right? Because they mirror each other's movements, right?
Yeah.
And so he threw it, which means she threw it at the same time as him. So it would hit both of them unless they dodge backwards. So he undid the shadow possession so that they each jumped, but behind her was the wall. Like, he forced her to jump. It's not like he just jumped and she got hurt by the wall, because he would have gotten damage too. He needed her to make that jump of her own volition out of the shadow.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. He reached into his pocket to take out a shuriken or whatever at the same time as she did, because she was mirroring his movements. And they both threw it at each other because they were mirroring each other's movements.
But then he released her, you're saying.
And so then he released it, so when they both dodged it, she smashed into the wall.
So you're saying if they were connected and she smashed her head into the wall, he would have taken damage even though there's no wall?
Yes.
I never thought that.
That's how the shadow possession works, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like it just copies the movements, but maybe you're right.
I mean, what if Shikamaru put like his kunai or shuriken in stupid spots? Like in a spot where your opponent doesn't have one.
Right.
Like why would
if he kept the kunai in his shoe or whatever.
Yeah, it's like I always used to think of that when I was young. It's like what are the chances they both have their freaking shuriken in the same spot on the opposite hip?
I thought that too. I'm like, everything's the same and everything.
Chat's saying that no, I'm wrong, and it doesn't. He doesn't take damage.
So Ino's works that way.
It does work like that.
It works that way. I'm pretty sure Nuts is not.
I'm mistaken. My bad. But still, everyone takes out, he does do the whole kunai thing and releases it at that point.
Yeah, and he's so cool. And even Naruto's he's so humble about it. Like, that was so cool. I absolutely loved it because he's always underplaying himself, even though he's so awesome.
And he always has the greatest, oh my god, this is such a drag. This is so boring. And then he wins, and it's like, what? How did you win?
And he's like, whatever.
Yo, Animac, what does he say in the the Shonen Jump translation? Does he say things are a drag, or is there something else?
I think it's what a drag, but what is it, Animac? Do you think?
Yeah, man, I have the whole manga memorized because I read.
No, but he has that's his thing, you know. Yeah, like Cowabunga, dude.
He says Mendukso.
Yeah, definitely not. Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's a drag. Yeah.
Well, that's what it was in the anime. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Dude, man, if only I was a cloud. What an easy lifestyle.
Yeah, that's such a great fight. Like, the whole fight, catching her in the strings. Dude, it was such a good fight, even though it was super short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was short, but it was good because I didn't know where it was going. It was like, okay, so they're doing this and then doing that, and then it kind of within a few pages, it all unravels really quickly.
Yeah, and I like the terrain aspect thrown in there. Makes you think more about the actual fights rather than just overpowering someone.
Yeah. And then we have Naruto versus Kiba, the dog dude.
Dog dude!
Yes! This was the one, I got a Shonen Jump magazine in January 2006, and this was the fight in it, the Naruto fight in it. And so I still have it next to me right now.
This was also a really cool fight, and Naruto really shows that he is really smart when it comes to fighting styles and combos and techniques.
Is that really what you got from that fight?
He's not smart in anything else, but I feel like he's very smart when it comes to fighting.
Well, I feel like a big part of that fight was to show off how far he's come to all his classmates. Because he used to be like the idiot of the class, the class clown, the one who was always the worst at everything.
The failure, too.
The failure. He was the failure, right? And it shows how far he's come.
Yeah, but he also still does really brash things outside of fights.
Mm-hmm.
In currently, current Naruto is still he just screams and does stuff that you wouldn't think a smart guy.
He's not a cultured person. He's not polite.
But within fights, he seems to really have brilliant strategy, and this fight showcases it because this Kiba guy has some really cool powers, like these animalistic beast mode type jutsus where he has the skills that an animal would have, enhanced senses and all this other cool stuff, and he's pretty OP. But then Naruto does a bunch of really cool combo techniques, he does combos of transformation and clone jutsu at just the right moment. He does the whole thing where Kiba turns the dog into another Kiba, and then the two of them attack Naruto.
Jutsu.
Yeah, and then Naruto turns himself into a third Kiba, but then the real Kiba is like, okay, well, I can smell that this isn't Naruto. The Naruto is not the dog, so he hits Naruto. But at the very moment that he hits him, Naruto transforms himself into the dog, and then Kiba's like, oh shit, I made a mistake. So then he hits the real dog, and then Naruto's like, aha, I got you. It was complicated, but it was really good.
He's lucky that thing took him out, the dog out, that punch.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
But I like the illustrations in the manga too,
and also
the way they explained it.
It's a funny fight too. Like the commentary is.
It
fun.
is the fart. Like we didn't get to it yet, but
wait, we didn't get to the climax yet.
Yes.
But
the fart no jutsu was awesome, bro.
Yeah, Naruto has come
even
so far.
before the fight started,
Even Kakashi's like, it's probably an accident, but it's perfect.
Kiba goes on stage with Akamaru with his dog, right? And Naruto's like, "That's not fair. He can't use his dog in the fight." And they're like,
"Oh, it's just a weapon. It's like any weapon," is what they say.
Yeah, and he's like, "Well," and he like keeps coming up with things that Kiba shouldn't be allowed to do, right? Like he turns the dog into another one of himself, and I was like, "Yo, that's not fair. I'm fighting two of them. I should only be fighting one of them." It's like
and then takes drugs too, right? Doping.
Right? He's like, "Yo, he can't use drugs." No, it's still a ninja tool. And he's like, "God
and he's
damn
like, "You always say that."
Yeah, it was true. The thing was kind of a drug.
Yeah,
it was.
Like,
it was 100%.
It was supposed to be like a ration, like a special military ration, but the effects were clearly more effects like a drug than just food.
Yeah, I was always thinking like, why doesn't Naruto pop one? Like, you know what I mean?
No, maybe that was hilarious.
Did Kiba pop one, or did he just give one to the dog?
I just saw the dog one, but I assume both took one.
I thought so too.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, it was a really cool fight, and then Naruto ends up winning by doing like this, making a bunch of clones, and then having them do that Rock Lee kick that he saw Sasuke copy, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Because like he was copying Sasuke, but I feel like Sasuke was copying Rock Lee, right? So in the end,
you're right. You're 100% right. And he even kept the name similar, except instead of like Lion Barrage, he's like Naruto Barrage.
The originality.
Yeah. So he had a bunch of clones do that at the same time, and so I thought that was pretty hype.
Dude, the lead up to that was so good. He's like, "I got a new technique," and everyone was like, "Holy shit, bro! When did he come up with that?" And he just copies it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I thought that was
sure
great.
I think I somehow remember Uzumaki Barrage being a little bit later, but all right, I guess it was then.
Yeah, and then poor Hinata, man. Hinata's like, "Oh, Naruto, here you can have some of this medicine," and Naruto's like, "Oh, thanks, my dude."
Yes, that was so funny.
Like she's like blushing and she's like trying to like talk to him because she likes him, and just like, "Oh, thanks, my guy, appreciate it."
Naruto's a romantic, absolutely.
Honestly, though, but it was wholesome both ways. Like, Hinata gave it to him, and then when Hinata was fighting, Naruto, like, reciprocated in a way. We'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah, although because of him, she got, like, way badly injured. But, yeah.
And by the way,
he meant well.
I think it's still up for debate whether that fart was intentional, because if it was, bro, that's some next
Kakashi
level.
says no, but, I mean, yeah, it's open to interpretation.
Brain
You're
is
gonna
large.
question the genius. This man came up with the Uzumaki Barrage all by himself. Okay.
Exactly. And yeah, I just want to say it was like Kiba's sense of smell was increased by like 10,000 times. So imagine how much a fart annoys you normally, and then like 10,000 times that.
Yeah, I know, which is like why it worked so brilliantly.
Yeah, I think it was intentional.
If it was intentional, it's even like.
It really didn't look like it was intentional, but if it was, then I mean, you got to
really
really
I want to believe it.
I mean, he's the guy that used sexy jutsu, right? So I wouldn't put it past him.
I feel like in Naruto's brain, the first thing he would think of when like you see someone with a heightened smell is like, yo, I imagine how he would react to a fart.
And by the way, having a heightened smell like that's obviously a steroid, man. Like that should definitely be classified as a steroid.
Yeah, but it should still be allowed. It's ninjas, bro.
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah.
People are fighting to the death.
Let's just have a bunch of roid raging maniacs fight each other to the death. Like, bro, you're a real Chad. Fuck the UFC. You got the real shit.
Well, yeah. Well, the UFC is a sport. If you're fighting to the death, use whatever it takes, man.
I mean, I respect Briggs' mindset there. That's a strong mindset. These guys are literally fighting to the death.
Dude, Animac, if you were fighting Nux to the death, and someone comes to you, he's like, "Hey, here's some roids, and you have a better chance of winning," you wouldn't take it.
Wouldn't you be like, how do I trust you? Like,
well, okay, obviously, like you want to take something that's like.
The thing is, this is still a test, right? So this is a test with clearly established rules. So they could
the
just
rules are fight to win.
You could easily be paralyzed in the fight and never be a ninja again.
Yo, people died.
People died in the earlier exams. I don't know about this one because, like, for example, not like I know people didn't die in this one, but like for example, Hinata went. We're getting ahead of ourselves, but Neji was stopped before any fatal wounds were dealt.
Yes. Yeah. And the one guy still lost his arms, which is still pretty fucking deadly.
Well, he didn't lose them. He just lost them a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, then we have the Hyuga clan family drama, the keeping up with the Hyugas. That was some interesting stuff. We got Hinata's whole backstory before she fights Neji, where she is a member of the main family and he's a member of the cadet branch, kind of like me and Gozen being the cadet. And so we learned about the Gentle Fist Taijutsu, which is a specialty of the Hyuga, and they combine it with their Byakugan, All-Seeing Eye, to kind of be able to look at the channels of chakra that pass through people's bodies and then attack those channels, which affects organs. So I thought that was, again, very complex and interesting. There's a lot to this power system in Naruto, man.
Yeah, like it's the pressure, the chakra points that are in a person's body to stop the chakra flow. It's such a cool idea because their Byakugan, unlike the Sharingan, it sees chakra.
Dude, it's so cool, and I love the fact that we thought the Sharingan was cool before, and then they're hyping this up so much, like the most illustrious family, like the best Kekkei Genkai. Like, they're hyping it up so much here that I was straight up more of a fan of Neji than Sasuke at this point when I was reading it.
I was never a fan of Neji nor Sasuke, so...
Why the fuck would you be a fan of Neji? He just, like...
Just his fight, like, not as a character. Like, I love Hinata, but, like, just as a badass, like, I loved him.
Yeah, he's definitely not meant to be likable at this point, but he's still...
I know, he's like, you stupid girl. I'll beat you up because of your family.
Though. Like, he's cool, though.
The whole fight was cool. The way they were, like, deflecting each other's blows. Like, they weren't even going for, like, vital attacks, like, from our perspective. They were going for pressure points that the normal ninja wouldn't be able to see. It was only because they were able to see these pressure points that they were able to actually defend themselves.
Yeah,
and I love the name Gentle Fist.
Yeah, Gentle Fist. That's such a sick name. Yes.
I know.
Yeah. Because they're doing the Gentle Fist style, it doesn't look like they're, fighting each other as in a deadly way like the other people who are using the regular style. But because they are using these pressure points that affect the organs and stuff, it could actually be even more deadly. And what ends up happening is Hinata gets so injured that she almost dies. And then Naruto gets really pissed off at Neji because obviously Hinata wanted to win because she was inspired by Naruto. And Neji was just like so ruthless. He didn't spare her at all.
So, not gonna lie, my favorite part of the Neji versus Hinata fight was when Neji's winning and Hinata's clearly defeated and Neji's about to strike again. And the moment he's about to go one strike too far, 4 Jonins from the stands intercept him simultaneously.
Yeah, I love that part.
Kakashi, Kai, Kurenai, like they all like converge on one spot at the same time. Like, in Black Clover when it was Langris versus Finral.
Yes, the exact same moment. Yeah.
Right? And Langris was about to like actually kill Finral, and all of the Black Bulls surrounded him like at the same time.
Yeah. So the thing was, that's what I'm saying. So on the one hand, we're told that the exams are a fight to the death, but on the other hand, they get involved to protect
they're
her from being
really
killed.
A fight to the death. It's an exam. At the end of the day, where killing is, sort of allowed.
I was just gonna say, like, in regards to the whole like drug thing, it's just like anything that's allowed in the field or like on a mission is allowed in the test. And it's kind of like this fight was clearly over. She was clearly gonna lose, so that they stopped it, right?
Yeah,
I think if it was a closer match, it may have been let happen,
And I got the feeling also that Neji was involving his own like personal life and the connection, the stuff within the Hyuga family to kind of affect his behavior rather than just the test itself and the competition. And I think that was another thing that they were critical of him for. They're like, stop getting, the Hyuga family drama involved in this. This is a Chunin exam, focus on the exam.
Yeah, man. And I love that because that scene, you know how we're hyping up Neji like to high heaven, talking about he's a genius, he's so amazing, Neji's a legend, and he's completely outclassed by all the Jonins. Like,
yeah, I mean, they do like 4-1 him, but yeah, for sure.
No, they 4-1 him, but they close the distance in a time faster than Neji can react.
Which is
and I love how they all react at the same time.
It just shows the difference. Like, these are Genin trying to become Chunin, but they're still Jonin, which is so significant of a difference.
Yeah, it goes to show you just how massive the world is and how far Naruto has to go if he wants to become Hokage. And forget Hokage, they have to deal with Orochimaru, who's leagues above the Jonin.
Who was clearly above Kakashi, right? Which is crazy.
He's one of the 3 legendary fighters.
Also, huge thank you to Professor Krieger for the 20 subs. What a mad lad. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, Professor.
Appreciate you. And then after that whole fight that really gets Naruto pissed off and he swears that he's going to get Neji for this and he's not going to lose and all this other stuff, even though Neji looks like to be a favorite against someone like Naruto at this point, Naruto's I will get you for this. How could you do this to Hinata? How could you do this to my dude, Hinata, bro?
My dude.
Boy.
My boy.
Anyway, Hinata's psychological victory here, overcoming her fears, we got to hand it to her. Mm-hmm. She was outclassed, but she was brave and she changed herself just like she wanted to.
Yeah, so there was some Hinata development there because, as we learned from her backstory, she's been very insecure because I guess she's weaker than her sister, who's younger than her, and she's been accused of not being worthy of the Hyuga main family legacy or whatever. So she's had moments where she wanted to quit being a ninja and all that type of stuff, and she's slowly evolving as a person as well. And Naruto's inspiring her. Naruto's inspiring her because she's, she obviously likes him, but she's also inspired by him because he also was an underdog his whole life, and he's been improving a lot.
Them too.
I know, but it's so obvious that she's in love with him, and he's just yeah, what's up?
It's so cute.
But Naruto's into Sakura. How?
Naruto's just not. Yeah, you're right. Actually, dude, I was gonna say Naruto's not focused on girls, but that's not true.
No,
he's
that's
totally
not true.
Into Sakura.
He's a massive Sakura simp.
Yeah, it's true.
Over the top personality, so she will attract more attention, and so she got Naruto's attention, whereas Hinata's kind of just shy and in the background.
But he was finally watching her.
Egg.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't understand Naruto at all.
Even though they're pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have the beginning because, bro, the thing is about Gaara and Rock Lee, both of them have been so hyped up already throughout the Chunin exams. Gaara obviously is this dude who just killed 3 people. He's this monster on the inside. He's got this crazy sand ability. He's just really interesting character, clearly overpowered. And then Rock Lee's also been built up as this determined fighter who fought against impossible odds in order to become, powerful beyond what anyone thought was possible.
Yes.
So it's when I saw that it was them two, I was like, oh shit, because I was thinking, yo, what if that Choji dude gets Gaara? He's dead.
That'd be so funny, man.
He would be dead.
Or anything. The big difference between how they were hyped up, Gaara's hyped up as a monster genius.
He's never taken damage in his life.
He's the most talented ninja we've seen so far by a long shot.
And then you have Rock Lee, who's born with no talent.
Jutsus. Yeah. He can't use ninjutsu. The basic transformation jutsu that Naruto was able to do in episode 1 flawlessly, and Naruto was by no means a genius at that point either. Lee can't do that. He has 0 ninjutsu capabilities. And he actually, in the Forest of Death, lost to the Sound Guys. Every fight that this dude got into, he was just the ultimate Chad. And here he's going up against someone... preliminary round, every time there was a fight, he was like, me, and he wouldn't get picked. Right, he uses reverse psychology. He's like, oh, this round, I don't even want to get picked. And Naruto's like, how could you say that? I thought you wanted to. He's like, no, I don't want to. And then it picks him. He's like, I fooled the machine. Reverse psychology.
I fooled the universe.
So, Anime, I think you need to watch this fight in the anime as well. You have to.
I was going to say that, too.
Because... out of the manga chapters, it's very fast paced, and Naruto, the anime really slows it down. And I think it's for this fight.
I think it's episode 40. God damn it, I don't remember exactly.
Just watch the fight on YouTube.
Watch the fight on YouTube. Just look up Lee versus Gara. Okay, you'll find it.
I mean, I was looking for stuff out, and
I'm gonna task Briggs with linking that to me.
All right,
because I do think this is a really cool fight, and by next week, I'm
Right.
guessing the fight's gonna be over by next week because
Yes.
I don't know how many chapters it actually is, but I will definitely see how that. I will watch it in the anime as well. Effective against Gara's Sand Shield, which is the thing he used against those 3 guys earlier that he killed.
Yep.
And
Kankuro even mentions, this is when Kankuro and Naruto have their chat. Kankuro even mentions, I'm with it. Ultra Instinct Sand Shield.
That's the anime we're talking about here.
Gara.
Whenever he's hyped, I'm happy.
Yeah.
no, because it just acts on its own, right? And since Rock Lee, the only thing he can use is Taijutsu, he's kind of screwed, it seems like, because he can't get to Gara. He can't hit him because he just keeps hitting this wall and he can't break through the wall. But then Rock Lee, we learned, was actually holding back, and he pulls a Piccolo and he just drops all these weights from his body, and suddenly he has this overwhelming speed, and he's able to basically he's able to his speed can actually beat the Sand Shield speed. So he manages to actually land a shot.
So Nux, I know you're gonna freak out, but it wasn't as cool in the manga.
I know, I'm crying. Lee decides, he jumps on top of that finger, the big middle finger of ninja, as they call it in our statue anime.
The hand statue, bro.
Yes, he jumps on that middle finger of ninja, and he looks to guys training, never take these off.
And the idea is he's born without talent, so he has to train extra hard and go through these weird methods of gaining talent and like achieving amazing taijutsu. And obviously, the Guy Sensei goes so over the top with these weights, to the point that he makes them wear them forever, even during the tuning exams. Take this in. During the second round, when he's fighting people and literally they could kill him, he is still wearing those weights while protecting Sakura, Naruto, and Sasuke.
That's insane. The kind of guy he is, man.
What a Chad, dude. What a Chad. This is why
I know.
I'll tell you, Rock Lee and Shikamaru, my 2 favorite.
Well, at this point,
and coming up.
All right, hold on. So anyway, he gets on top of the great middle finger of ninja, as they call it. That is what they call it.
Yeah, we all call it that.
That's what I call it.
The Third Hokage coined it, the term middle finger of ninja.
Middle finger of ninja. Patent pending. Anyway, so he gets on the middle finger of ninja, and he takes the weight, and then he drops the training weights, and they make these massive explosions in the ground when they actually hit the ground.
Yeah.
Gara
everyone underestimated
face when he just sees the explosions when they hit the ground. And then they look at Lee, and he just disappears and appears behind Gara. And the Sand Shield is trying to protect him, but he can't personally keep up with how fast Lee's moving. Shield. Oh my god, this fight!
And that is nuts. So that is kind of where we end off with the manga. One more thing happens, Animac, if you remember.
Yeah, and he's just a psycho dude, and we see a glimpse of that, and then he coats his entire body in this sand armor. So it's different from the Sand Shield. The sand armor, just we see from the thoughts of his dude. What did you say his name was? Kankuro. We see from his thoughts that there are actual weaknesses within this armor that Rock Lee could potentially exploit if he can figure it out, which I predict he will. And that is the kind of fight continuation that we are expecting after this point. And yeah, it's a crazy fight already, and I can't wait to see what happens. No backstories yet.
No backstories yet, dude. So, being that I never overhype things, and we've already come to this conclusion that the amount of hype that I hype things is adequate in every way, I would like to say that this is my 3rd favorite fight in all of anime. And that's high praise, because I like a lot of anime. This is so good, dude.
Is it your favorite Naruto fight?
It's by far my favorite Naruto fight.
In that case, I do have to watch the anime scene as well. I'll read the manga and I'll watch the anime scene, and then we can talk about it and compare it next week. And someone said in the chat, Yortiz Tane. So in that sense, if Gara can't finish the fight soon, he might be in trouble.
And physical energy too, because he's heavier.
Yeah, exactly. So he has to move. Probably going to be slower as well, and he has to use more physical energy. So he's going to need a lot of
genius narrative. compared to the guy who has to work hard and starts out from like a super weak, disadvantaged point. So like that's why this one of the reasons this battle is so powerful from a philosophical standpoint.
Yes, preach. And you'll see more of that in the backstories.
Yeah, so Gaara's kind of like the Frieza, right? Like he's so strong that he never had to train as much as the other guys.
We won't spoil.
Unlike Frieza, who's kind of okay.
I mean, yeah, Gaara.
How did he get to be this strange dude? Because
yeah, but what about
on the one hand, most willing to kill on a dime, right?
It's not just willing to kill. For him, it's nothing.
He has.
Yeah, exactly. Him go like psycho. Like there's something else going on the inside. He's some kind of monster, bro. Yeah. So I'm really interested in her demon. That I think Kankuro mentioned he's like a demon on the inside if he awakens or something. So yeah, I'm curious.
Awakens a demon! Woo! And Rock Lee is the only one who got him to this far, right? Because that's props to Rock Lee for bringing out
I think Rock
unstable personality
to break through the sand shield.
Yeah, so he's the first person to do a lot of things.
Who do you think's going to win, Manimac?
I'm thinking Gaara's gonna win just because they built him up as like the kind of main antagonist.
Yeah, not like Orochimaru. He's like not a main antagonist.
Well,
but you thought Sakura was gonna win. We'll see.
Yeah, I did think Sakura was gonna win.
I mean, Sakura should have won so she could develop as a character, but I think the mindset was Sakura sucks. Man. Let's make her tie so we don't have to include her.
Yeah, so
she should not have won that.
My thinking is that because Gaara is from that mysterious sand village, and because he has been built up.
Is sand village really that mysterious, though?
Okay, Nux, allow me to finish. Like I said, I think because he's from another village, Naruto, in like the big final battle within the test. But yeah, what's his name? Orochimaru is the big villain, like beyond the test.
Well put.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's true. And they're both super hype. How they're gonna handle them.
All right, so I think for next week, we're going to read up until chapter 97. Is that cool, Mac?
7.
Sounds good. Next week, 84 to 97. I'm very excited. Like I said, so far, this podcast has been an absolute pleasure to do because it's been so great and interesting. The story, the strategies, everything. It's been really good, except for that tie between Ino and Sakura. But it's okay.
Going into the story, I don't think you actually thought to yourself, you know what, maybe I'll actually like Sakura.
Maybe they're just like, they overplayed their hand here.
People didn't even Nami from One Piece.
Yeah, for Nami,
she's not Nami.
I think Nami in One Piece is very underrated. I think she's great, and I love her. But Sakura.
A lot of people like Nami.
I think a big difference is like. So Nami's a support character, and she has her skills, and it's vital for the crew's survival, and they show that off. And then Sakura, who's a support character, and at this point in time in the story, Kakashi keeps on saying, like, she's so good at her chakra control, but they don't show it off, other than the one time she walked up a tree.
It's and she doesn't even use it to win.
If she has an ability...
She was actually willing to take that damage from those...
sound guys.
Yeah, those sound guys, too.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, man.
She saved the day there, bro.
She saved the day.
No, the haircut was her best moment, for sure.
Bridge builder. Without her, would there still be a bridge builder? Short answer, yes. But the bridge builder was under much more stress, and it helped him out.
Yeah, at least it's a meat shield, if nothing else.
Exactly. Strong mindset.
Bro, women are more than just meat, Gozen. Jeez.
Yeah, it goes in. I can't believe I heard you say that in those words.
Anyway, Love in the Storm, thank you for the donation. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Definitely excited. I can't wait to see what happens next. And Nami is best girl in One Piece.
Yeah, she has a good
Nami is great,
good development.
But Robin is great too. Boa is great. Like, there's so many good choices, man.
No,
it's all about Boa.
It's actually all about Khalifa.
No.
Man, I want to choose. I just have a harem in that series, man.
Anyways, yeah, Reiju's great too. Someone said in the chat, Reiju.
It's all about Boa.
Nux, Briggs, and Gozen, thank you guys for joining me for another Naruto Virgin.
Nux and Briggs and Gozen.
It was amazing. I like the downcast Gozen there. It's like Nux and Briggs and Gozen.
These Chunin exams have so far been really good. and I see a lot of potential here, so I'm excited.
Someone in the chat asked me to ask you. So now, having seen like a more generic tournament style tournament, how would you compare it to the highly acclaimed My Hero Academia tournament?
Oh my god! Again, this.
No, I'm serious. Whenever I see people say My Hero Academia tournament is so much better than the Chunin exams, are you serious?
I can't believe people say that.
But dude, that wasn't even a highlight of the show. The highlights are always the villain arcs.
As a simple reason to make you recognize the fact that this is way better.
No, it is, and I mean, I kind of went into Naruto thinking this is a generic shonen that got popular because it was very generic, and that's what people like. But man, I'll be honest with you. So far, it's been really good. It definitely deserves the hype so far.
Yeah, it wasn't generic when it came out, man. Like, yeah,
dude,
maybe now it's become.
And characters are so.
The politics, right? In Dragon Ball, like you have no politics, like right.
Well,
in Naruto,
there's not that much politics right now.
There definitely is. I disagree.
No, we know the entire tournament.
It's in the background this whole time.
Well, there's different villages, we know that, and like different countries, but it hasn't been.
And they're intermixing the social dynamic. They need to fight each other so they don't go to war.
Well, it hasn't been stated the reason why they do like the Chunin exam. Pardon?
Yeah, they stated it.
Okay.
Yeah,
they stated it.
They did, but I mean, you can't say that that's been a major theme. So
no.
Like the whole first arc, which is them going to a different village, who's being abused by this one dude. Yeah, like a weaker village, a poorer village. So you have it going on.
Goes in with his everything is politics.
It is, well, I mean, that is what they taught us in university.
Boys, geography is everything.
Again next week. Until next time, see you, Space Cowboys!
Bang!